on an NBA team. I think 3 might be the most.
Is that what it is?
We're trying to find it out, but we think so.
We got 3 pretty good ones. Corey and Kelly grew up together.
Yeah, you Corey just tell us about the background.
Yeah. So, Kelly's dad, who used to coach with the Raptors and be in Toronto, and so it's a deep connection.
Yeah,
it's good.
That's a good reminder.
Did you say Kelly's dad coached for the Raptors?
Yeah, he was a developmental coach with the Raptors.
Was that before you got there?
It was right before I got there.
Do you have an idea how deep? Obviously, when you look, Troy said the other day, one of our strengths is our depth. Do you have an idea how deep your rotation might go? Did you see it going conceivably even past 10?
You know, probably not past 10, right at 10. You know, and again, that's with the groups. If the groups continue to pan out the way they're doing right now, but I would say 10, barring knock on wood injuries. So that's going to be one of our strengths is our depth. And again, you got probably more experience, probably with the second group than the first group. So this is a good thing.
When we talk about Kelly, obviously the 3 ball comes to mind. His ability to space the floor opens up less chaos for Killian and Kay. Do you think that, so for Killian specifically, do you think having a little less clogged space will help him out?
Well, it'll help set up his driving game too. And the good thing too is he's always going to have an outlet. He's always going to have an outlet, whether it's in front of him or next to him, to the side of him. Kelly there is a ball handler, decision maker. It's going to really take the pressure off those guys. And also too, their guys going to be closer to him, so you're going to have driving alleys and gaps for him to get into, where otherwise they won't. And even with Isaiah in there, team's going to have to respect him because he's shooting the ball well, so they're going to have to stay a little close to him. So Kelly and Isaiah is going to give both those guys a lot more room than they've had in the past.
I know you talked last year about how you found quickly after Troy got here that you and he were similar mindsets in what you look for in players. As you approach free agency this year, and with the draft night trade of Mason, obviously we knew you were going to go after a big man. Was Kelly like the guy that you were?
Yes, but unfortunately, both of us love Kelly. Like I said, I've watched him his whole career. Coached against him in Boston, and even when he was in Miami, and so that was a pretty easy decision for both, Troy and I to come together on that. So that was a no-brainer for him because we saw the same traits that Kelly brought to the table: the character he is, the student of the game he is, and he's one of the veteran leaders of our team already.
Yesterday Isaiah mentioned that he's already been picking Kelly's brain and picked up stuff when it comes to BHOs and everything like that. How have you seen any improvements or?
Well, play happened today, Lauren. That Kelly had the ball at the top, and he followed the cutter all the way to the rim. He pivoted, followed the cutter all the way to the rim, and the play right before that, Jamarco Pickett had just kind of tried to turn and not really pivot and turn his body. And the very next play, Jamarco picked up the same play by just watching Kelly. And I just told him, so Kelly, it was a teaching moment by example as much as anything else. So he does a lot of little footwork things that I know our big guys are learning, that Luka's learning from him also. So he knows all the tricks. He knows all the tricks offensively and defensively that those guys are watching. And the coach will go by and say, hey, did you see that? So great teacher for those guys. And now you're throwing Ben Wallace to show the other tricks. Our bigs have no reason not to have a great classroom each and every day.
When he was in Miami last year, he took almost 2/3 of his shots for 3. Then he gets traded to Houston. Role changed. He was very efficient, but he shot a little bit less than 40% of his shots for 3. Do you have an idea where the ball from here?
I don't know. What we try to do is we say 60-40, 60% roll, 40% pop, because he is such a weapon. So we try to have that ratio, Keith, of rolling and popping. But again, he's going to be a high. Someone asked yesterday about his usage rate. I think he'll be a high usage rate guy with the second unit, first unit, whoever he's playing with, just because of his ball skills, his ability. And one weapon you can't have in the NBA today is a 5-man that can shoot the ball from deep. So that's why the development of Isaiah and also with Kelly playing the 5, it helps our offense.
What kind of opportunity does Diallo have? You know, he played, I think, 20 games last year versus into the rotation. But that guard rotation looks a little crowded. Kind of what does he bring that can?
Well, it's crowded. It is crowded at the wing position with Frank, with Josh, with 𝐒𝐻𝐈. So that's going to be some healthy competition in that area. And again, we're going to need different things. We're going to need shooting. We're going to need defense with either unit. So you want to have that balance. So whatever player emerges, it gives us that balance at the wing position. But Diallo has done a heck of a job of improving his game, working hard. He's playing at a great speed right now and pace. He's not turning the ball over. So all those things are helping 𝐒𝐻𝐈 in that situation, and that's another sign of his growth, is making sure he takes care of the ball, defending his position. He's very explosive. So he gives you a lot of different physical elements and tools that you need on the court, but also he's growing in other areas as far as taking care of the ball and making good decisions.
The progression that Luka made just from low second round pick, two-way guy, summer league, all of that, and gaining a spot on the main roster, just was that his own growth or something that you saw in that development over that time with him?
Well, the thing about it, and again, I didn't know. I saw Luka. I watched him at Iowa Ride, and I didn't see the progression to the outside game that I saw in his draft workouts. I saw it this summer, but I didn't see that. And I saw some of it, but I guess when I was watching, he was inside kicking people's butt. So I didn't see him when he was spreading the floor, shooting it outside. But the young man, for me, has done a lot of it himself. When he lost the weight, he's kept it off. He's been dedicated and disciplined about keeping it off. He's worked on his three-point shot, where it's automatic now. So that part to me, that's what I noticed this summer, right? Was his three-point shooting, his ability to come out away from the basket, and that type of thing. And first you look at it, you think it's a fluke, but it's not.
Is that one of those rare cases where you can't capture everything in film or in scouting or in everything else? A guy just jumps off the page or jumps off the film and shows you something different than what all of the other previous stuff said.
No question. And I put 𝐒𝐻𝐈 in that conversation too. I had no clue this young man was going to be the NBA prospect that he is, coming through the draft, coming through the workouts. And for me, he does everything you ask him to do, takes shots, makes defensive plays, as well as Luka does.
I was going to ask you about 𝐒𝐻𝐈. When he was on the summer league roster, was that just like a guy there to help fill out the team, or did you guys think that he could be somewhere? Did you learn through summer league?
No, Troy and his group, they really, we talked about him before, during the draft. Before the draft, during the draft workouts as we were going through that process. So he was a guy that Troy and his staff, Jason Buckman, had an eye on for a long time. So we just was keeping our fingers crossed that he would be where he would be. But I didn't know. You have to ask them, but they knew that he was going to be the prospect that he is. And again, I just saw him through the summer, a lot like Luka, up close and personal, and up for my opinion of it.
And through summer league, it seems like he played like a little bit of 3 or 4. I think when impressed during summer league, he kind of seemed like to make the right play every time. He didn't force things.
Smart.
Yeah. What was it about him post summer league, once you guys got back here, that stood out to you?
Well, one is his communication. He's talking. He's one of the best defensive talkers that we have. Pointing, using his length, doing all the detailed things defensively that probably a 5 or 6 year vet usually would do. So that's what also got my attention, is his defensive IQ, being where you're supposed to be, understanding that, using his length defensively, and then on top of that, you have a 6'9" guy knocking down 3-point shot at a higher rate. So they got my attention pretty quickly in the month of September. You know, like I said, I don't care if you drafted 10, 20, or undrafted, and, you know, you continue to do your job, you're gonna earn some minutes. All right.
Appreciate you.
Okay, appreciate you guys. I apologize for the wait.
It's just good to be back in